Welcome back to Where You Live with Gene and Tony. It is a wonderful Sunday, and we're glad to have you with us here listening to the show. We're broadcasting from the Concierge Landscape Studios. We're brought to you by Extreme Exteriors and American Family Insurance, the Kim Bennett Agency. And before we get into our next story, I'd like to just remind our listeners we've got a great gift, free gift that we'd like to give you. It's called What's New, our bi-monthly newsletter. It's a great resource. A lot of people write to us and tell us each and every month, hey, thanks so much for what you wrote this last month. This really helped us with our homeowners association. Mm-hmm. We've got a list of all of the free webinars that we put on coming up in some of the upcoming months. For example, the next one is on, let's see, what's the date here? April 3rd, and it's going to be taught by our very own Paul Roth, Vice President, New Concepts on changing rules and amending documents. When is it necessary, and how should it be done? And so all you need to do is you can go to our website and go to the newsletter or go to our webinars, and you'll be able to sign up. It's a free resource. But if you want to start receiving this newsletter, give us a call at New Concepts at 952-922-2500. Ask for Courtney, and she'll make sure that you start receiving your subscription. Well, let's talk about, Tony, this next story. This is from the Philadelphia Courier-Times, and there are two Pennsylvania lawmakers who said, we've got this thing licked now with legislation on how to take care of the mess that people find themselves in when owning a condominium or townhome. What is that mess you're talking about? Well, the legislators are Christopher Brown and Scott Rutter, who say they want to address what they say is a nationwide issue with condominiums and townhomes in the sale and purchase and transfer of a property from one person to another. They say there's new federal policy and rules that have gone into effect requiring associations to respond to questionnaires, seeking information about the units, finance, and loan delinquencies. And they say that the homeowner association, management companies just really aren't being responsive in filling this out.
And these questionnaires are important because they come from the FHA, and they're necessary in order for the FHA to grant loans to people who want to purchase in that homeowners association, correct? So it is an important questionnaire. They claim that these questionnaires are not being filled out by homeowner associations, and so it's holding up the whole process of buying and selling condos and townhomes because their buyers can't be qualified for FHA loans.
This, to me, is just a hard concept to understand that this would be taking place, because I know how it is here in Minnesota.
It's hard to admit. It's hard for you to even see this as a problem. You're saying,
exactly.
Is this really an issue?
Is this exactly?
Yeah.
I don't see that the issue or failure here is with the association or management company not filling it out, because this ends up being an opportunity to be able to charge a fee for this service, because it is above and beyond the normal operation of the property itself.
Yeah.
And, I called at least 3 or 4 of our colleagues and other management firms in Pennsylvania, and they said, no,
this
said,
isn't an issue.
We respond right away. We get out these disclosures because we charge an extra fee. And once we've sent that out, we are able to receive
we earn an extra fee. So and besides that, it's once you have the information, you only have to gather the information one time. Well, I guess you have to look at current delinquencies. But a lot of that information is static, factual information that once you've gathered it, you just keep repeating that on every questionnaire that comes in.
Yeah,
correct?
Yes. The real issue here is not failure of these disclosures and questionnaires not being filled out. The real problem is with some of the qualifications that FHA has put in place in their requirements before they will give financing to another individual.
Okay.
And, first of all, I think it's important for our listeners to understand. I mean, there's what people call the golden rule. Whoever has the gold rules. and to some degree, I understand that. I mean, if you're going to, Tony, if you're going to loan me money, you might have some stipulations.
I might. I might want to know if and when and how you're going to pay me back.
Yes. Yeah. And do I have to get money from you? No. I can go to other places, but if I want to do business with you,
that's right.
You have the right because you're the one that is offering the money to be able to say, here's what needs to be met.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, I will agree that we've talked, countless times on this show about some of the unintended consequences
of regulation and legislation.
Of regulation, and there are some big issues. What are some of the things that come to your mind with FHA, with the things that they're requiring?
Well, they want to know about delinquencies within the homeowners association, and if there's a certain level of delinquency, they do not want to underwrite loans to new buyers. Well, that of course just exacerbates the delinquency problem, because if these homes could be sold to new buyers who are paying the dues, delinquencies would improve, correct?
Yes.
And especially now while foreclosures are going on and there's empty homes sitting around, it could be a tough standard to meet.
Yes. And so right now that percentage is 15%.
Okay. They want to look at the delinquencies to make sure they're not more than 15%.
Yes. If there's more than 15% delinquency, that can be an issue, and a reason for someone to
for the FHA to say, we're not going to give you a loan to buy here.
Yes,
you have to buy elsewhere.
Yes, or come up with more money down. I mean, that's a concept. If you're going to actually buy something, that they're going to require that you actually come with more of your money. Put more
on the table,
because they're saying, we don't want people just to be able to walk away, because that's been the other issue. I think because people have, so many people have purchased without having any money, any skin in the game whatsoever.
Sure.
I mean, haven't we heard over and over again, someone said, well, I stopped making my payment, and so I just walked away from it, so it now belongs to the mortgage company. And so the other side of that coin is that someone feels that, well, hey, it's your problem now. It's not mine.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, how can one have that kind of understanding and be an adult in dealing with contract law?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I mean, if I'm going to promise to do something, those requirements. There's a responsibility that I have to that other party.
To the contract you signed. That's right. Now, these legislators in Pennsylvania are suggesting new legislation to address this problem. And what they're suggesting is that homeowner associations have a time limit at getting these questionnaires out. And if they do not get the questionnaires completed, they say within 10 business days, they have to be fined. They should be fined $500. So that's the legislation they're proposing, is legislation to force homeowners associations to comply with this FHA requirement. Most homeowners associations and even management companies will say it is important to do this questionnaire in order to keep sales going, but they disagree with the whole approach, because they say the problem is not with associations, the problem is with the FHA requirement. Is that right?
Exactly.
How it's worded and what they're asking of us.
Yeah, that 15% is just one thing. Another requirement is that you need to show at least 10% of the operating funds that are coming in need to be able to be set aside for the reserves. They need to be set aside in a reserve fund.
Now, that's a good one to point out, because we have associations whose reserve fund is fully funded.
Yes,
and always has been. They have a reserve study showing what they're going to need to pay for roof replacements and sidewalk replacement, whatever, down the road. They have their reserve fund completely funded, and still they're required to take 10% of their yearly income and put it in this reserve fund.
Yeah.
That isn't reasonable or rational.
No. I know in one particular association where that has occurred with us, it has taken us some time because initially then the person who was doing the underwriting for that loan said, "Oh, you don't qualify for FHA." We had to go back and say, no. Look at this again. We're a nonprofit organization. We're not supposed to be taking in any more money than we need.
That's right. And this is how much we need for our reserve fund. You're telling us we have to keep collecting money?
Yes.
That's a good point.
Yeah, and now here we can show you a proof of the reserve study, the capital replacement study that was done, showing that things are fully funded. We want to stay a nonprofit because all of the owners want to pay the least amount possible.
Well, they bought into a nonprofit corporation too. It's the fiduciary responsibility, I would think, of the association to stay nonprofit.
Those are just some of the things, and we could continue to go on. And I think we
could go on, and
I think we will. But we need to take another break right now. When we come back, we'll talk about these Pennsylvania lawmakers. Do they have a handle on this condo townhome mess when it comes to purchases? We'll tell you more about our opinions after these messages.